No matter how smart you might think you are, you could meet the most stupidest person. That person that you might think is a piece of shit,
I do
dumb.
appreciate that you're pointing to him.
No, I mean,
no, that is the guy. No, that is the guy that I think that about. So you can keep pointing at him.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you guys were recording.
No, we're good.
No, it's cool. Like,
We're good.
I'm all okay.
Raw intro. It's good
Yeah.
to have you. We got Yoshi.
I'm
Obayashi
glad.
on the
I'm
line.
glad you didn't record when I was saying N-word 14 times.
Oh,
Thank you.
no. And we will have time at the end if you would like to say
Yeah.
that again. And we'll do a Patreon. on
Yeah.
that. If you want to hear Yoshi hear the N-word, paywall. We got to paywall that. But good to have you here, bro. How long have you been in Austin now?
I got here. I flew back from Europe on September 12, and then I think I've been here late September 13th.
Okay, so not that long. Follow-up question that has nothing to do with the first. Where do you stand with the aliens?
Oh, UFO stuff?
Yeah, where you at? Talk to me.
I have a lot of friends, like my friend Dave Johnson's been following that stuff for like 40 years, you know, and then he talked to me. Once again, it's not that I'm against it. I just never have a whole lot of interest, but my friend Dave Johnson has invited me to a bunch of these UFO conventions. I hope I go next time, you know. I just don't know enough, you know, and just like East Indians love the sports cricket.
Right.
I know it's very important for billions of people. But I'm not against it. I just don't, I never had an interest.
Right.
A lot of
But
times,
keep that shit over there is what you're saying.
yeah, I mean, has this ever happened to you? Like when my friend told me how great The Wire on HBO, I watched it like one time for like half an hour and like, I don't get it, you know. Then a year later, I rewatched it and then finally I got it.
Right.
So whether it's conspiracy, cricket, or UFO, maybe I just need a couple more exposure. But right now, I do have a lot of interest in other stuff. But I just don't like forcing myself to study or expose something just sake of it because everybody's doing it. I want to do it when I'm in the mood for it. So, but I think I will because I have too many people that I respect are into UFO. But I will say this. Remember about a year and a half ago, U.S. government released a bunch of footage of UFO?
Yes.
And nobody gave a fuck.
Nobody gave a fuck. I mean, this was in the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
And in the middle of BLM.
Yeah.
And then, boom, they just drop these two Navy fighter pilot videos of the Tic Tac type things.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm sure I'm a lot older than you, but if they ever shown that shit in like early to mid 80s, I think the country would go crazy. But we're so jaded, like...
Yeah.
You know, if we even get information about what really happened with JFK and the assassination, so sorry to say it, but I think like, okay, what's next?
Right,
know?
and that's the major, like, that's one of the biggest points about not disseminating that information. Is that going to do good for anybody just to know that we can't trust the people we've been supposed to be trusting? But you know what it is, dude? I think I'm a basic white bitch. I'm a sucker for the gossip. I need to know who pulled that trigger, dude. I can't die until I know. I can't successfully. Sleep's been rough. I wasn't even there, dude. I wasn't even alive. What was this, 63? It's way before my time. Why do I give a shit, Yoshi? I need to know. I don't know why.
And you know what's also weird about that week? I believe Doctor Who and Mr. Rogers' show premiered that week. And around about that time. And
like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood?
Yeah. And I think like within the second or third episode, he have to do this task about because he talked about it in the show. He had like a puppet or something. I don't remember. It's been so long, but there was a kid or a character asking Mr. Rogers, like, Mr. Rogers, what's assassination? Like, holy fuck, man! Like that's a heavy
for kids. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's traumatic for even people who didn't vote for him as American.
Right.
Just
broad daylight, they got him.
Yeah.
They got him. I mean, it really makes you think who's safe. I mean, the president just sniped right in broad daylight, dude, gone.
Well, remember in Godfather 2, when Michael Corleone was talking, like, anyone could get killed.
Anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody can get it.
If they could kill a president, they could kill anyone. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
No one is above it, you know.
Yeah, no one is. No one is, but...
And you talk about conspiracy. Sorry, I know
No,
it's
no.
your show, but
No, dude, you're the guest. You let it rip.
um, you know, as a comedian, all three of us, I think we're very sensitive. This week something terrible tragedy in the Austin comedy scene.
Right.
I didn't know the kid. I just said hello a couple of times, and you know, uh, I think we're sensitive because fellow comedians, even if you don't like somebody, you feel bad, and also what's been going on with Russell Brand over in UK. My first reaction is I'm a little bit overprotective of any comedians, I don't like when comedians fight each other,
Right.
but I think that's an interesting case because let's say even if it's true, all the claims are true, right? We don't know for fact, but because we all believe in due process and he should have a right to defend himself. But even if it's true, it just bugs the fuck out of me. They're more concerned with this comedian supposedly did something 10, 12, 15, whatever, many years ago. And we still don't know what Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's list, and I think it's a misdirection,
Yeah. No, I mean,
and
that dude. So is that's the epitome of what that UFO release was.
Yeah.
It's a misdirection. While the country's collapsing because of racism and a fucking cough that we can't control, let's show people that aliens are coming. And by the way, didn't work. Nobody gave a fuck.
No, I mean, I think any reasonable person, especially if you're American and especially if you travel overseas, I believe that the racial problem in this country is grossly exaggerated. Out of the 360, 70, whatever million people, I'm not saying we don't have a problem, but
Right.
to say that that's one of the major problem in this country, it's I don't believe that at all.
Yeah,
There's problem, but if you compare it to the rest of the world, believe me, they're murdering people in Africa.
Yeah.
Genocide and all that nonsense,
Oh yeah, man.
But I'm one of the 4 civilians who were allowed to go in and watch Maxwell's guilty verdict, and I was also there for sentencing.
Whoa. You?
Yeah, I went I don't know how many days I went. It's over 14, 15, however many days. So when you go to the Southern District, if you got to remember this is at the height of the COVID policy. So the rule was 4 civilians and 4 journalists could go in. So whoever get earliest in line, standing in the line, you could go in. And every day I fucking go in, I'm missed by 1 spot or 2 spot. It was fucking pissing me off. So if you don't go in, they'll take you to secondary room on the first floor. So the actual court case was on 3rd floor. Ghislaine and Judge Nathan and prosecution defense attorneys are there. And if you don't make the cut, they take you to the 1st floor. After they check your metal detector and take your phone, and the room looks exactly on the 3rd floor, and each seat have a little monitor, so you can watch the actual case. And I think because it's a federal case, it's not televised. I always get those confused, like why some cases are televised and other ones,
Yeah, I have no.
I keep forgetting, but this case, you it's not televised. So, I read that case, a story about Epstein, 2003, as I'm driving from LA to move to New York. I think around that month, they had a Vanity Fair article. I think her name was Vicky Ward. I think that's her name. She was writing for Vanity Fair, and talented Mr. Ripley. I think that was the name of the article. Now, there was no allegation of assault. They had some information, but they took it out. And then I read it, like, wow, what an interesting guy. I still don't understand how he made money. So I was aware of that name because I used to read Vanity Fair religiously for multiple reasons. Then, of course, 2007 and 8, Julie K. Brown, I think Miami Herald, she wrote an article about why did Epstein get such a very lenient sentencing, And I think that kind of started the whole thing with
That's so they can set him up for murder, right? It's so they can set him up for murder.
Oh, well,
That's why. Or suicide. Excuse me.
well, I've been calling it assisted suicide,
Right,
you know,
there you go,
yeah. But,
assisted, yeah. That's, I guess, assisted suicide is just murder, right?
well, yeah. So I was getting sick and tired, like, not getting. So December 29, 2021, I was like, this motherfucker, every day they prevent me from getting in because I show up a little late. So I slept 2-3 hours. I got there at 2 in the morning.
Oh, you camped out like it was a Jordan release.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a new pair was dropping.
But I was the real civilian because there's 3 people ahead of me. They're like a professional standing. They're standing for somebody else for spots. They get paid to do that.
Oh, like
so,
the Grammys.
Yeah, and then I don't have that kind of money, so I have to
Right.
stand in. And then within an hour of actual allowed to enter the court, this lady was standing in front of me, and she said, "Oh, why are you interested in this case?" Like, well, you know, for various reasons. And I also said that, well, I read this incredible article by this lady named Julie K. Brown, and I'm like, she smiles like, I'm Julie. So she
wow.
paid somebody. Yeah, so it was really nice to talk to her. And then I finally got in. And you know, what was so fucking irritating, there's this bunch of chicks show up after me, want me to leave and give that spot away. Like, fucking bitch, like entitled bitch, you know, like,
Yeah.
If this was really important to you, you'd have showed up fucking early. You don't bug me about it. But it's one of those entitled white chicks, probably like, you know, Boston or something, you know, like, oh, I want my friend to get in too. Like, well, fucking you tell your bitch friend to get up early. But I stopped talking to them, you know. So so I finally get in. You sit down. I was excited because I finally got in after like 14, 15
And
tries.
now you saw Ghislaine in person?
Yeah, I've seen her twice for
She
the.
nasty.
I didn't know she was going to get because there were jurors taking days trying to figure out. You know.
Was she in a jumpsuit?
No,
Was she a piece?
she. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw her, I think she had a turtleneck sweater. I don't know. I could be wrong because I saw her so many times on the monitor. You know, but the thing that really surprised me was she has huge tits.
Big tits, huh?
Yeah.
Big tits on Ghislaine.
And the reason
Why are we not talking about that?
Yeah, I know.
Well, the turtlenecks. She's covering up.
I worked in sex business, so these kind of choices are really interesting to me. And
Yeah, see if we
somebody
can-
got mad when
okay, I'm seeing a little bit there. Top cleavage.
somebody got mad because I made a comment about it, and the reason why I never noticed she had huge tits is because she was attached to Epstein, and Epstein clearly was into young girls, young women, and he was a tendency to like. I know I have no scientific
Data.
data to say this, but the super rich guys, when you visit their homes, neighborhood like Upper East Side, Bell Harbor area, like Palm Beach in Florida, Beverly Hills, Ginza in Tokyo, there's certain places in Paris and Kensington area in London. The rich folks tend to like women who are tall, lean, and has no asses and tits at all.
What do you think that is? They're getting used to fucking lizards?
I'm repeating myself, but when I used to go MAGA rallies,
I don't think you said that yet.
I went to MAGA. Well, I've said it many times.
Other pods.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. We draw a different crowd here. These are a bunch of weird emo kids with parental issues.
So the one other thing I noticed right away, because I worked in sex business for a long time, like the one of the fetish that it seemed like the most popular among MAGA guys, and if you have a listener overseas, maybe they don't make America great again. Trump people, right?
Trump rallies.
Yeah, they like women with huge tits.
Big tits.
Makes sense because most of them are white. Most of them come from Northern Europe.
Yeah.
And,
Scud missiles, though. Cannonballs.
historically speaking, primary diet of Northern Europe is dairy. Where does dairy come from? Tits. So they have affinity for tits. And when you go to BOM, Black Lives Matter, obviously there are blacks and Latinos, minorities, and most of those people come from southern regions of the planet. They're like more ass men.
Big ass.
So when you see the two groups, it almost sounds like, because if they just calm the fuck down,
Yeah.
if they just fucking calm down,
Uh-huh.
let's focus on difference and focus more on the similarities. And what are the similarities? I think it's safe to say both sides are concerned about their livelihood, jobs, what's going to happen to their kids, the future of the country, safety of their family. That's not something like racial. That's like love. If you love your family, those are the things you really worry about. And if you focus on that part, they could kind of calm down and agree. But it's the small difference that these people are always fighting each other, right? So when I hear them argue, it almost sounds like tits, ass, tits, ass. Like, gosh, you could like both, and you're all right. The super rich and elite, they want poor people to fight each other, so they could do their whatever that they're interested in. They don't give a fuck about poor people. I don't care what people say. I don't care if you're a fan of Obama or Trump. At the end of the day, people that give the most money to both sides tend to be rich. I don't really believe they really give a fuck about rich people. America really don't give a fuck about poor people, really.
No, not at all. No, I mean, it's systematically set in place to have them. I mean, like, you go to a poor neighborhood, you see nothing but sugar and alcohol. You know what I'm talking about? And that is implemented. These are city plans to keep these people addicted, to keep them ditch diggers, to keep them working late. I mean, that's why they don't talk about finances in American the public school system. We don't talk about how to save money. We don't talk about how to make it.
See, this is the stuff I like talking about, because even on television, so like ancient Roman emperor knew, like, you give them just enough food, just enough money, but a lot of entertainment, they're subdued, But have you noticed, when you watch television movies these days, like, how many working class television shows do you know right now? Sitcoms.
That speak to the working class. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I don't think we have one since Roseanne, to be honest.
I just finished watching Roseanne. Again, I watched it back in the night. It's so good. It's so fucking good.
You see television shows, what do you have? Succession. You sympathize with billionaires.
Right.
You watch House of Dragon. You're supposed to emphasize with the royal family.
Dahmer.
Yeah,
shit like that.
That's the closest you get to like but that's kind of like a lower middle class, whatever.
Dahmer said what you want. He was blue collar.
Yeah.
The boy could work.
So even in television shows, unless you watch like Jerry Springer, where you ridicule the working poor, we haven't really had sympathetic working class shows since Roseanne. Now, it might be different in England. They might have some pro working class. I'm just strictly speaking America, but I really have to think, like, when was last time we had a show where we care about the working poor? I think Roseanne did a wonderful job presenting working class like the backbone of this country. They shouldn't be ridiculed, but you have so many people attacking the working poor, and I think that's probably one of many reasons why Hillary Clinton lost, because she had disdain for poor people in this country.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the country is ran by like the very small percentage of the rich elites. And
yes.
It's just the objective truth, and it's fucked. And I don't know. I mean, how does, when you're in such a deep hole like that, how do you even claw your way out? That's the question that I'm thinking about, is like, are we just doomed? Are we heading in a direction that can't be fixed? Is it going to take a fucking civil war to understand that this two-party system in America is fucking bullshit?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I mean, really, if you're being completely honest, is there demonstrably difference between the two parties? They're both warmongers. And as much as Obama was charismatic and just a really incredible speaker, and I'm sure if you met him, you just love the guy. But at the end of the day, during the financial crisis, he brought the very same people created a problem to solve the problem.
Yes, no, I agree that the people are the same, like the Democrats and the Republicans, but the parties are.
The rich people run everything.
Yeah, but the parties are no longer the same. Like, the parties are very polar opposites, and people aren't voting for people anymore. They're voting for their party, regardless of who is in that position. If you're a Democrat, you don't want a Republican to win, and that's all you know, and that's all you care about. So I think like the people are the same. The people that are voting are very similar. If we get them all in the same room, they're going to be friends. But it's the parties that represent such opposites, and that's what people are voting on for now.
I think they're opposite, almost like public performance-wise. But at the end of the day, they vote for wars.
We're all trying to solve the same issues.
Yeah, but I don't.
Not socially, maybe more so economically and.
Yeah. I don't want to blame everything politician because we get the president that we deserve.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't read about shit. They don't travel overseas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Trump is not as bad as the people who vote for Democrats. And Biden is not as bad as at that level, even as powerful as presidents are, they're not all power. Bureaucrats still run that shit. You know what I mean? Like this is like, U.S. government is like a big fucking machine or monster, and they're very friendly with
business,
corporation. Yeah, so
our country is a business. It's a corporate business, but. What's what we do? We print money, dude, and we have champions, and we eat a lot of steak, and we drink a lot of beer, and we rip cigs, and we fucking we call that value.
Yeah,
and that's and then we keep a smile on our face, dude.
But you're absolutely right. Why we don't teach financial literacy and why we don't teach sexual literacy, right? Because I know these are very touchy subject, and when I saw Ghislaine the second time with sentencing, so. December 29, 2021, guilty. 6-7 months later, that sentencing, and they usually have a victims speak, and they spoke, and but
it was past the victims' bedtimes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
So they talked, and I read every one of their situations. So it's one thing to read about it. Terrible things have happened, but to sit there and actually see the actual victims, and they're in like mid to late 30s, even early 40s.
Well, dude, you're to maximize this for a second.
Yeah.
This is what the entire country was obsessed about when this was happening, and you were there. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and most people don't get to see it. So for me, like Annie and Maria Farmer,
Shouts out,
artist. And she had an art gallery show in like 95 or something. And she sold most of the artwork, if I remember, And the person who ran art gallery said, hey, maybe you should sell some of those, decline to sell those paintings and sell those paintings at the discount rate to your possible benefactors. And he was talking about Ghislaine and Jeffrey Epstein. And that's how she met Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine, and when she got a job through Epstein in Columbus, Ohio, in a very nice home right next to Lex Wexner, who owns L Brand and Victoria's Secret, when Ghislaine and Jeffrey Epstein saw a picture of Maria Farmer's younger sister, Annie, they invited her too. So I think they went to movie theater eventually to watch a movie. Epstein was sitting between the two, and Jeffrey Epstein started kind of fondling the younger sister, her legs and stuff, Of course, Maria didn't see that. And I think Annie didn't want to hurt her older sister's opportunity, and maybe she thought she was overreacting. See, these things happen when we don't have effective sex education. And if you don't have a good one, and if you're a parent, and you don't want your child to get sex education, I believe that parents have the right. Then you have to do due diligence, and you have to talk to your kids. And if you don't do that, then you're irresponsible, because if you say no to a sex education in school, then it's responsible for you to do that. And if you don't do any of it, these girls don't even, if you're getting mugged, you're a victim, but sex is one of those like a weird thing where you don't even know you got...
Right.
You don't even know you're a victim.
Yeah. Brandon, if you could pull up the first news story, because this parlays into this nicely, actually.
Okay.
The first one I sent you. Yes. Okay. So, a Newport Beach doctor who specializes in treating members of LGBTQ plus community was charged with sexually assaulting 9 male patients under the guise of medical examinations. So, to your point.
Yeah.
The number one thing I remember when I was a kid is mom, dad, and doctor. Only people that can touch your pee-pee.
Yeah.
Did you get that talk? The doctor, you're good around the private parts if you're in the doctor's office.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's bad sex education. You don't read that rightly. The doctor, all of a sudden, you're hard. You think it's part of the examination. He's just trying to see if your semen counts up. You don't know.
Yeah.
I can see. Also, and maybe I'm out of pocket to say this. For a young gay man, is that not kind of like a little fantasy, a little dream come true? I mean, you're going to get checked up, and the doctor's sucking you up by a rich, old, wise, smart man. Maybe I'm out of pocket to say that.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, I guess this guy was like doing physicals on them and just like fucking yanking them and fingering them in the butt.
Oh, okay. That's. I mean, I don't know what to say. That should have been obvious.
Okay, maybe perhaps this is a very. I couldn't find anything more specific.
Yeah.
But
you know what I will say about this? This is so interesting because for a long time,
30 years in prison.
For a long time, for example, like Jeffrey Dahmer and John Wayne Gacy, most police never took that stuff serious because they didn't understand how is it even possible a man to get raped or sexually assaulted. So they never took any of those allegations seriously. So I think tons of people got killed because, like a bunch of homos got killed. That was their attitude.
Right. Well, also they just did like back then they were so bigoted that they didn't even want to be around the gay guys. Like all Dahmer had to do was tell them like, there's like gay porn in the back. They're like, why don't you just get going, son? Why don't you go home?
Well, that's why they returned the Asian kid back to him, and he escaped. And wonderful local black ladies.
Glenda Cleveland. Shout out to Glenda Cleveland. We know you listen. We appreciate you. Like and subscribe.
Is that the lady who was spoken? Bless her heart, because like, are you sure that that doesn't look normal?
Yeah.
You know, and
did her rapport with the police?
She was so upset.
She logged like 36 calls to the local
righteous woman.
Yeah. She was hearing people getting murdered. Dude.
Yeah.
Jeffrey offered her a cock meat sandwich in her house.
Yeah.
It was insane.
But, So you even hear about that scumbag. Why am I forgetting his name? He was U.S. women's gymnastic coach.
Yes, Brandon.
Josh Nasser. Josh Nasser. So he was molesting these girls, and like it's hard for people to say anything because somebody of authority, like a doctor or somebody higher up, or principal or whatever, or somebody representing U.S. gymnastic. It's really hard to say something because you just can't imagine somebody of that level of trust would do something like that,
That's not new, right? That he got stabbed. Is that new?
New, yeah.
He just got stabbed?
Recently. And another interesting thing? He was sending letters. He was sending letters back and forth between Epstein.
Dude, he kind of looks like McLovin.
Yeah.
Super bad Fogel.
He looks out of shape Jared from Subway.
He looks like Jared... no footlongs. I got nothing funny there. He just looks like a decrepit Jared. You're right.
And
yep, looks just like him, dude.
That's him. Oh, I think that what I was trying to say is when all the victims of Ghislaine Maxwell case spoke, you just feel for them. I read many of the cases, so when I see them, even though they're adults, I couldn't help but see them like teenage girls, helpless, hopeless. And hoping for some help, and like you just feel like worse every. But when Annie Farmer spoke, like Jesus Christ, and she everyone was credible, but she was even more dignified and credible. She's like a therapist or something.
Right.
She overcame all the trauma. Then this is the weird thing happened. The defense attorney saying, "Just Nathan, if possible, something like that. Miss Ghislaine Maxwell would like to speak," and like I was like. The whole fucking room got quiet because she didn't speak once during her trial. So like, holy fuck, I didn't know she was gonna talk. So she went up, well dressed, dignified, and that was when I finally learned the word. Sorry, everyone, if you heard me say this before, I'm repeating myself, but I learned the word posh, because in UK and in England. The class system is so powerful, man. I think it's worse than racism in many ways. And I didn't understand that word until Ghislaine spoke. My God, when she spoke, you got to remember, this is someone who grew up in privilege. She is used to talking to the royal family, the most famous people on the planet, billionaires, and she went to all the elite schools.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't even be able to understand that dialect.
Cambridge, Oxford. So when she spoke, so captivating, elegant, and so darkly seductive.
Yeah, all these like, I've never heard her speak. I don't think I've ever heard her speak. I don't think like I've ever, because you're right, there was no trial footage.
No.
Yeah.
So
Damn, you were in that bitch, dude. My God.
It almost sounded like if Darth Vader was female and just seduced the whole fucking doing the jet. No, I'm did the whole Jedi mind trick. Right. Because I get it, you know, because of my heavy accent and broken English, you know, I get ridicule, well deserved, you know, but people that have a command of English language like Christopher Hitchens or something, even if you don't agree, you're just captivated. Well, she did that to me. So the whole time I listen, I'm start thinking like, maybe these young bitches are lying, or they deserved it, because she kind of really seduced you.
You were, you know what happened? You were one of her victims right there. She got you, Yoshi. She had you right in her back pocket, dude, in the palm of her hand.
So next day, when I read the transcript, my God, she didn't even like apologize. She shifted all the blame on Epstein and put her in. She presented herself as a victim with the girls.
Right.
She did the verbal jiu-jitsu shit, right?
Did she? She's claiming to be not guilty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I think what I was trying to say is I think this case is very interesting to me because this lack of conversation about money and sex. You know, I work in sex business, and my friend, there was a girl in Anna Mall, so hence Anna Mall, and
nice.
Asakira, one of the greatest female.
Shouts out Asakira,
friend of mine, one of the greatest female performers. And I think one time both of them were years apart, but they were doing like double or triple anals or something. And I just asked at the time, how much did you get paid? They both told me like, oh my God, that's personal. Like, Jesus Christ, you have 3 dicks in your asshole. And I can't ask. But
because are you trying to? Because I would like to know, is it like how much per penis is the pay increase?
Yes.
Because 3 penises shouldn't just be triple the pay. That should be triple the double that the second penis added on.
It should be a lot. But
yeah.
but my point is, but they are right. Discussion of money is the number one most taboo, and sex is number 2, right, in my opinion. You know, they have easy time talking about sex, but when it comes to money, it is the most difficult conversation, and it makes uncomfortable. And I think this is the reason why my belief, my theory that's why Epstein was so powerful, because he was comfortable in a world of sex and money.
Yeah.
So when he was dealing with billionaires, he used sex to control them or put them in a corner and blackmail them, right? And then when he was talking to somebody who is not rich, actors, academics, scientists, or politicians, he will use sex to seduce those people. You know what I mean?
Right,
he could use the one or both, and that's why he was so comfortable and powerful, in my opinion. You know, not everyone's going to be a frank conversation like Jim Norton, who is extremely comfortable talking about, you know, his love of transgender hookers or whatever.
His wife, right?
Yeah. So when you talk and when you're completely honest like that, no one could blackmail you. Well, most people are not that way. So I think recently there was a billionaire named Leon Black. He's in big trouble right now. Benefactor of Epstein. He claims he gave Epstein $157-58 million for consultation assistance on estate tax and shit like that. It's hard for me to believe somebody who dropped out of college and he has billions and billions in his hedge fund, that he didn't have anybody in his company with tax expertise, you know. So
yeah, well, I mean, Epstein's just an FBI plan, right?
I believe that I believe what is more believable is that he's probably was doing a lot of sexual blackmail. It's not a cool thing to do, but many of the intelligence agency needs information, and if they know that somebody, and they will make devil with deal with the devil. So they probably think he's a scumbag, but they have some kind of sensitive and politically embarrassing sexual information about somebody that they're interested in. They will make a deal with that person.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they? If it comes to the interest in defense of your country, they have information somebody's a threat to their country. Fuck yes, they do that.
Right. Right.
That's why I think Bill Clinton was so irresponsible having sex or sexual.
Yeah, he could have got a way hotter girl. Yeah, Monica Lewinsky. What the fuck were you thinking, dude? That was
Just cute.
Not even the hottest secretary. There's no way.
But for him to do that, he could easily been compromised by foreign agent. So I think to me, Epstein, just like Ghislaine's father, Robert Maxwell, they had dealings with intelligence agencies, especially like Robert Maxwell. He was a media mogul. He needs information because that's what they do. They sell information through newspapers and television shows,
Right.
So, I'm infinitely interested in this information. So going back, how can we change things and make it better for poor people? To me,
Let's start by not trafficking them.
Don't traffic
That's a
them.
good start. Don't traffic the poors, and I've been saying that for years. I do want to say. But what else? What do you think?
I think, especially these super rich people have so much disproportionate influence in the country, and if you understand how they think, I think we could do a better job dealing with them. And who do they understand? These elites, either they're rich, or they're politically connected and they have a power through politics, or they're rich and have political power. And I think a case study could be made out of Elizabeth Holmes and Ghislaine Maxwell, because, somebody like Elizabeth Holmes, I went to that sentencing for her.
Okay, hold on. You got like a fucking press pass here? How you getting into all
No,
these-
you just stand in line.
Is that it? It's like Black Friday. You just go, get there a little early, bring a chair.
It drives me crazy because if something's really important to you and if you want to know more about it, all you have to do is just fucking show up.
Right. That's true. Oh, like that. Like
I have no money. I'm broke as fuck. I show up. I stand in line. I got in.
No, listen.
I'm not connected at all.
I'll tell you, you're inspiring me. First of all, I at a very ignorant level, I will say, did not know you could just do that.
I mean, I just Google like,
yeah.
Where's the court? And like,
Right.
can you go in? And they say yes. Like, okay, I just showed up.
Yeah, I just couldn't
It's
imagine.
not magic.
Yeah, I thought it was. I didn't look at that. An asshole like me just sitting there watching Ghislaine go to jail. I never thought they'd let that happen.
This is the part that kind of pissed me off when they say things like, I don't have a good luck. Things are not going well. Well, I swear to God, I'm lazy too, believe me. During COVID, I asked my friends, like, you have all this free fucking time now. You could have lost weight. You could have read more books. You could have called friends and reestablished your relationship. You could start a podcast. You could have done all kinds of shit. They stand there and do shit. Well, fuck you. You don't deserve a it's life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. There's nowhere in Constitution or Bill of Rights saying guarantee of happiness. So you if you're not happy and you didn't put an effort, then fuck you. You don't deserve happiness.
Okay.
You live in one of the greatest country in the world in terms of, if you want to change your life, you could do that. Out of all the countries, I went to 70. America is the most generous when it comes to that. So, if you didn't put any effort during COVID, then I'm sorry, but you don't deserve happiness, in my opinion.
I think I've learned my lesson. I think next time someone goes true crime, I think I'm gonna go watch. I'm gonna go watch. I'm gonna get after it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna earn my happiness. You're right.
I'm saying I get it. Some of you are married, have kids or whatever, but you could still manage your time a little better. You know what Ian McKellen, one of the greatest actors, said?
Sir.
He played Gandalf and many. He didn't become famous until like his mid to late 60s. Here's the thing.
That's when we found out he was gay. Got a big pop.
He's gay too, yes.
He got a big pop.
I saw him at the West End after the show, and I stand in line. He signed my thing.
By the way, that is my Dumbledore. I want want to say?
He's great. He saw it, and I say hello, and he said, "Here's another interesting. He never went to acting school.
Oh yeah, I mean when you got whatever he's got,
he got it, dude.
Brother.
He got it.
I don't know if it's in the beard. I don't know if it's in all the butt sex, but he's got it. Whatever he's doing, it is working out for him.
He has it, just like Michael Jordan had it.
Oh, I'm sure he's got a nice.
Just like
shot.
Oprah had it. When it comes to talking, she has it.
Oh yeah. Oh man, he's a gift like Oprah. That was a good parallel. Ian McClellan and Oprah. That was a good connection.
And in terms of being a white person and connecting with black people, no one does it better than Bill Clinton. These people have it. No, I'm telling you,
Is that
100%.
I guess I didn't know that. Is he
Bill Clinton was more black than Obama, man. When it comes,
Really?
they say he's the first black president.
Yeah, to get head from a secretary, black move. That's a strong black move now.
So these people. So like, I'm just a dipshit, stupid guy, whatever. But like, I just like, I'm curious because these Ghislaine understood Jeffrey Epstein, Elizabeth Holmes. All Elizabeth Holmes had to do is to seduce emotionally George Shultz, former Secretary of Treasury and former Secretary of State. And once you have one guy, he will tell other famous people to support Elizabeth Holmes. None of these motherfuckers, except for one person, did due diligence. So they even seduced Henry Kissinger, all these fucking famous rich people.
Okay, so this is. I think I'm seeing what's. I think what we're dealing with here is you're practicing. If you have the shield, you have the sword, right? You're learning from these people to build your empire. Is that what this is?
I'm just saying, if you want something bad enough, you'll figure out. So when people fucking say, I don't have a time, I don't really believe it.
Was this about me saying that I couldn't go, that I didn't know that you could go to the court, or you just mean in general?
No. In general, because I like no matter how smart you might think you are, you could meet the most stupidest person. That person that you might think is a piece of shit, dumb.
I do appreciate that you're pointing to him.
No, I mean,
that is the guy. No, that is the guy that I think that about. So you can keep pointing at him.
I don't care how smart you think you are. You could meet the so-called dumbest person. They're gonna know something they don't know. That's a fact.
Right.
So you look at, if you read like Shakespeare's plays
all the time.
when you read, for example, King Lear, Shakespeare was incredible because he's able to present believable speech patterns of kings and the grave diggers. Mm-hmm. This is somebody that hang out with everyone. Right.
Oh, Shakespeare, he was a kickback guy. He was invited at every party, barbecues, didn't matter.
He knew how everyone talked. So
from the aristocrats to the wenches.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think my point was telling you is that even somebody you think is a piece of shit. One of the most valuable lessons I ever learned was working at the pawn shop taboo video store in downtown Seattle. Crackheads, because
you can learn some street knowledge from the crackheads.
Crackheads, they don't give a fuck about anyone. They don't care about their country. They don't care for themselves. They don't care about their family. They don't give a fuck about kids.
Partially inspirational, I'd say.
They don't give a fuck of anything. 100% effort every day trying to get that drug. So they never make excuse that I don't have a fucking time to get drugs. They put the effort to do it. So
it's motivational.
So all of us, if we spend 10%, 5%, even 1% of crackheads' effort, you could do stuff. So we always make time for something that's important to us. So when people tell me they don't have a time, whatever that thing you're trying to do, it was never that important.
So what you're saying is
if something's important, you will fucking do it, even if it might end up killing you. So when they say they don't have time, I'm just saying no. You never give a fuck about that.
Yeah, you just need to start smoking crack.
You know how many times?
Because when you smoke crack, you double the time.
They will fucking get it.
Yeah, well, you have more time in the day when you're on crack because you're getting things done in half the time. It's crackheads. This is a theory I'm working on.
They make commitment to it.
They have 48-hour days though. When you think about it, an hour to a crackhead is 30 minutes. They're fast.
They're fast. No, but it's true. Like nobody's serious. We don't have serious people in this country.
No.
You have a crackhead that's missing 2 arms, 2 legs. That motherfucker still make more effort than 90% Americans.
Also,
they don't give a fuck. They will get that drugs.
Also, get that guy on stage. Let's get that guy. Get him a stool and a microphone. Let him
So you
speak.
want to start a new business? You want to go back to school? You want to be stand-up? You want to be actors? But you always make an excuse like you don't have time. Then you were never meant to be.
No.
You're never going to do it.
No. I'm with you.
Somebody with no talent, putting all the effort in the world, will have a better chance to become a stand-up comic than a guy with all the talent being funny.
Dude, we said this maybe last episode. I think natural talent is the worst.
Nothing.
It's the worst kind of talent. I don't want someone who was a born killer. I don't need the guy who can just speak and be funny, because that guy's not going to put in the effort of the dude who had nothing. The fat kid. Were you ever fat?
No.
CHK, you grew up in Japan, right? You
Yeah.
guys know what you're doing, dude. When I lived in Japan, I could not believe what a large was in Japan.
Yeah.
Because it is, we don't even, it's smaller than the normal small
Yeah.
size. You got Japanese people walk everywhere,
Yeah.
eat healthier, lots of fish, lots of clean protein. You trying to think, a lot of pork in Japan.
Yeah.
Good amount of pork, not a lot of beef.
I know a lot of people when they're visiting Japan, they love Japan, but they love it because they never have to live like Japanese. They have a responsibility of Japanese. It's better to be visiting Japan or living in Japan permanently as a foreigner.
Right.
And I don't understand when these foreigners who speak Japanese even better than I do upset that they're never treated like Japanese. No, you don't understand. It's a blessing that you don't have to treat like Japanese, because
Should have showed some respect. Kenbawa, by the way.
konbanwa.
Pardon me.
Yeah.
I gotta brush up a little.
Yeah.
You know, chatamate korosai.
Yes, very good. I as great as Japan it is, I still prefer America, because there is still a small percentage of Americans. They take advantage of America. They just do their shit, even if they don't have the talent. And everybody say don't do it. They don't give a fuck. There's something so beautiful and amazing about this country, man. Out of all the places, we let the most retarded piece of shit person with no talent.
Dude, look at me.
But we
Look at
let
this
them.
fucking studio I'm in right now.
We-
I'm a prime example of what you're talking about. I'm a stupid retard who just is making it happen somehow.
But let's be honest.
Oh, I'm not.
They ask you to do it because you're doing a fantastic job. You're working really, really
Which is
hard.
proof that stupid retards can do good things in this world. And
Effort means something, you know.
Yeah.
So you're doing it, and that's why it makes me sad when I hear people like, "I never been given a break" or whatever. But the fact that you're even living in a country that you could do it and allowed to do it, we are so much lucky than the rest of the world, you know. So
those people need to leave. Those people need to go to the Middle East for a little bit, some countries in Asia, maybe Africa, to your point, experience it, then come back to America and tell me how you're mad that nobody asked about your pronoun.
that's why these fucking professor in college telling in elementary school kids always telling young people to whatever they think they tell them, so they're dividing the country or hating America. They are the real fucking scumbag and cancer of this country, because it's the foreigners who want to come who will tell you how amazing this country is.
Yeah.
Listen to them. Don't listen to the scumbag
Yeah.
professors.
We have an immigration problem because so many people are trying to come here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
When the United States accidentally bombed Chinese embassy in Yugoslavia, they were mad. You know what?
that's right.
You know what?
Accident.
You know what's the media that then show? The half the Chinese are angry, but other half of Chinese are standing in line at the American embassy trying to get visa. That's right after we bombed their embassy, and they still want to come here.
yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying here? Like like no other country. We're number one in terms of the people that want to come here.
Yeah, definitely.
Whatever the second place is, like a massively big gap between how much people want to come
What
here.
is the second place? Canada? But Canada, I think, is tough. I think Canada's easier to get into.
Canada, maybe Australia, places like that. Yeah,
Australia, that's just...
you know.
That's a little cartoon world, Australia. It's not even real, I don't think. They're over there eating alligators, kicking fucking kangaroos, boxing each other in the field. I mean, it's not even a society. Fucking slapping their forearms, screaming words that don't exist.
I've been there once. I do like it, but it does make me think twice. Just like Florida, all those fucking animals, like, holy fuck, man. Crocodile, sharks.
If we could get a saw big enough and just cut Florida and let it float off into the sea, that would be pretty good for America. Now, I don't.
Come on.
If we could say,
I love Florida.
I love Florida.
But
Florida should
it
be
is
its own-
weird.
should
It is
be
weird.
Its own country.
Yeah.
Build a fucking build a moat around Florida, a wall around Florida, and then that can be just the people that don't fit in with society. Let's send them to Florida. There's a place for them. Like, I think I saw you. I think I saw you talk about how like there's a place, or you heard somebody quote that there's a place for psychopaths in society.
Yeah.
Do you remember saying that? Was
Yeah.
that you? Yeah. So there's
I don't-
send them to Florida is what I'm saying. Send the psychopaths to Florida. They'll build their own little community. Probably. I don't know. They like drugs, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't like psychopaths, but there's times we need them in society.
Yeah. Most lawyers probably psychopaths.
Psychopaths are almost like in the ocean, like sharks, right? There is a place for sharks. We don't want shark to kill people,
Away from everybody else.
but there's necessary to keep ecosystem healthy. And I think I've read like between 10 to 15, maybe even 20% of CEOs are psychopaths.
Dude, wouldn't you say 100% of UFC fighters are psychopaths?
They're aggressive. I'm not going to say they're psychopaths.
I don't know, man. I don't know. To just get in a cage in front of thousands of people. I can't. Oh, oof. Do you ever fight?
No. I think what you mean. I think I understand what you're saying. Like Michael Jordan had a psychopathic competitiveness.
Right. Kobe Bryant.
Tom Brady had that psychopathic.
Yes.
They have to manufacture like somebody say something rude to them, so he want to kill those people.
Yeah.
I understand.
Like Tiger Woods.
Yes.
He can't be winning the PGA Tour if he's not fucking the ugliest cocktail waitress in the room. He behind his wife's back, and that's just his vice. But that you want greatness, you got to let greatness procure itself, and that's how it happens.
Tiger Woods' mom's spoke one time. I thought she looked like a nice, sweet older lady. She just say, "My son have to kill his company." I'm like, God damn, Tiger have to kill these people.
She was like the small Asian lady, right?
Yeah, and she was like, "My son have to kill these people competitively."
That's right. Dude.
Like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and then his dad is dude, so weird on the other end of the spectrum. He's like, my son is going to bring the world together. My son will bring every race, gay, straight.
Save the world. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she's like, I want him to kill his competitors. I want him to fucking stick his club up their ass so far that you can see it pop out of their mouth.
Yeah, that's why.
It's a direct quote from Tiger Woods' mom. You can look it up.
That's why I don't care about golf. I don't give a fuck about it. But I always like Tiger because like what he did was so incredible. But also
to get away with cheating for that long.
Well, that and
oh no, I'm kidding.
But I also feel bad because imagine when one of your parents or both of them saying like you're going to be Messiah. I mean that's going to drive you a little crazy, don't you think?
Yeah,
you're not going to be a normal
this
kid.
Is something that Jesus Christ had to deal with,
Yes.
He had to deal. He was just a carpenter too. I mean, he was just a.
Tiger was just a golf player.
Tiger was just a very. You know what? See, now I see.
Yeah.
Now I see that he might be God. This guy, and he's back.
Well, I mean,
he got the spine fused. He's back.
He's God of golf, and that's why I'm not too harsh on him because
my parents were the exact opposite. I was told community college is the bar. So, they never told me I was a messiah. They were like, don't even try.
Well, you're going to prove them wrong.
Well, I can still get my degree. It's not too late. You're right. I'll prove them wrong. But
I don't know how much time you have left, but I really want to know, like, why did you go to Japan? What was your experience? What did you like? What did you hate? Did you learn anything? Do you want to go? I want to know all of this.
How much time we got, Brandon?
We're 7 minutes from an hour.
All right, cool. So we have like 15 minutes. We can talk
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was in the military.
Okay.
So I was stationed
Which branch?
Navy.
So Yokosuka.
Yeah. Oh man, Kanagawa Prefecture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So was in Japan for 2 years. Never bought a massage. Proud to say.
Wait. But do you get to choose where you go? Or they choose that for you.
I got to choose my top 5 picks.
So you have a preference.
Yeah, Japan was actually number 1, and then it was Spain, Hawaii, San Diego, somewhere else.
Okay.
And I got Japan, which was awesome.
Awesome.
The people are great in Japan.
Yeah.
Brandon, do not let Pearl Harbor fool you. They're very peaceful.
Yeah.
I actually went to the Nagasaki Peace Park, and not a good place for a white guy to be. I felt or an American.
It's an interesting place because I went to Japan first time in 19 and a half years, 6 months ago with Clayton Peters, Russell Peters' mom.
Nice.
And then,
Interesting.
I mean, Russell Peters' brother. What am I talking about?
I was going to say his mom.
Russell Peters' older brother.
Still
I'm
pretty
sorry,
cool.
I didn't sleep much. And then we went to Hiroshima. I haven't gone to Nagasaki. I went like when I was a kid. Nagasaki was an interesting place because they were planning to bomb someplace out, and because of the weather problem, they choose Nagasaki last minute. And also, Nagasaki is also interesting because it's the capital of Catholicism in Japan.
Yeah.
So you went. That's great. And so you went there.
Yeah,
Was
sorry to bring up the saddest thing in the country's history when we're talking about Japan. But I just immersed myself. Dude, I like living there for 2 years was so cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know much about the country.
Yeah.
The fact that it was the size of California blew me away. Like just learning all this stuff, like Japan, seeing how they build up because there's no space to build out, seeing like the livestock, like how there's, what you guys have space for. The food is great.
Yeah.
There's no country that I've been to that has public transportation figured out the way Japan does.
Yes.
Locked in. The best, dude. The best.
And you didn't panic, right? Just because you didn't speak the language.
No, it was so easy.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, we have a silver spoon up our asses as Americans. We go, because we speak English, everywhere we go, we expect people. This really humbled me living there for 2 years. It made me experience that I need to. If you go to another country, I think you should have a responsibility to indulge yourself into their culture.
Right.
Not expect them to come here. Now when I come to America and I see someone walk in who doesn't speak good English, I'm very patient.
Yeah.
Because dude, Japanese is not.
And obviously, I'm not saying this sarcastic. I'm saying this sincerely. We need more people like yourself representing America and traveling overseas.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
It helps way more than military visiting there.
Dude, do you remember when Logan Paul?
Oh
that
yeah.
video that was very disrespectful. He went to like the suicide forest.
Yeah.
Like, also, he got in trouble for the wrong shit because also in that video he was like throwing Pokeballs at like Japanese people and like very disrespectful. I was living there when this happened.
Oh, is that right,
dude? And I felt an immediate shift of the way I was perceived. Like on trains, like there was for a very short period of time there were people that wouldn't like sit next to me.
Yeah.
It was crazy, and I was so hurt because of how much I loved the Japanese culture and how much I loved those people.
Yeah.
And I shout out to Taku-san, one of my boys that I met over there, one of my good friends.
Yeah.
And dude, it just breaks my heart that people go over there in such a kind and sweet culture that Japan is.
I don't want to do too much apology for Logan, but
I know. Neither do I. I'm just to build the story of my experience there.
But I will say this much: I don't know the guy, never met him, but I will say that. I'll be honest. If I was in like, let's say like in Hungarian suicide forest, and I just happened to be walking around and find a dead body, I might have done the same thing. Not because I think it's funny, because when something scary happens, some people cry or they laugh because they don't know how to handle the situation. Because I think I might have laughed because I don't want fear to take control of me, because I've been in situations like some emergency. I don't want to cry or panic, because sometimes I'm with like girls or younger kids. Last thing they need is somebody older panicking. It makes the situation worse. So I shouldn't have laughed, but I might have just laughed so there's no panic. So
yeah, no,
I don't necessarily think it's a bad person.
Wait, is that what the issue was? Is that he laughed?
I
thought the issue was that he put it on the internet.
He put it on the internet.
Yeah, I didn't care about the laugh.
I think it might have happened. He was just walking around.
Dude, if I walk across, I'm gonna go hit that thing like I'm Rocky, and it's one of the dead. Yeah. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna joke too. I'm just not gonna put it on the internet.
I think I could be wrong, but I'm trying to give people benefit of that, because it doesn't do anyone any good unless they did seriously something terrible.
Go tickle their toes and see if they're faking it. Maybe they're just sleeping.
That's really funny. Tickle.
Come on.
Come on, everybody knows most Japanese are dead inside, so maybe it doesn't.
You're saying,
but I wanna just give him benefit of that, because I think it could have been like he just happened to be walking around because he heard that there's people commit suicide all the time, and it was one of those, I don't know, like Instagram live, something live. He filmed it. I would say this much: I don't believe he was happy that somebody was dead. I don't believe that.
No, not at all.
And I also think it will make anyone nervous to see a dead person, So he didn't want to panic. So I want to give him benefit of that, because I don't think I've ever heard that he's some kind of sociopath and psychopath, enjoy people's death. I think that's what happened, So what was really weird, on the same day, I remember that day particularly because one of my favorite comedians in Japan, they're called Downtown, two Japanese comedian acts, and on the same day, they did something. They got in trouble. So Downtown composed this two Japanese comedian. The guy, one of them, is such a huge fan of Eddie Murphy. He loved Eddie Murphy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to show tribute to Eddie Murphy, I think that's the way I remember. He dressed as a character from Beverly Hills Cop. That cop is from Detroit, so he had a Detroit Lion jacket. He worshipped Eddie Murphy, but this is a part that Japanese don't understand racism. So he loved Eddie Murphy so much, he did blackface.
Yep, that'll get you.
He did it not to ridicule black and like
Right.
in terms of like a history of racism in America.
Right, it's the same way I say the N-word. I sing it along with the song I'm supporting. You know, it's very different. It's not.
He did a blackface because he loved Eddie Murphy and
Yes,
black people,
yes.
but he thought he was doing tribute, and they said like, "Holy!" When I saw like, I get it. When he's talking about Eddie Murphy, he loves him, and the audience laughed because they don't understand. You don't do that.
Right.
Ironically, there's a bunch of Japanese that have black faces. We call those people of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Those are the only legitimate black faces in Japan. Nobody's going to be mad at that, right? Those are accidental blackface in Japan.
Yep.
They're okay.
Yeah, they're okay.
But
They're good.
I'm saying like, geez, nobody who spoke English at the studio didn't say anything. Like, so that's why when he apologized later on, I believe he really didn't know.
Yeah.
So that day was weird. Logan Paul got in trouble, giggling nervously at the dead Japanese guy. By the way, if I ever meet Logan Paul, I would say to Logan Paul, Mr. Logan Paul, thank you for finding my father. Because anybody who knows my background, they found my dad hanging from a tree. So, you know.
Okay, so that was real. I thought you were kidding.
Yeah,
So
no,
I would have repressed that laugh a little had
No,
I
no.
known it was real.
They found my dad hanging from a ceiling, like, you know, I think he was hanging for like 2-3 weeks or whatever. So I can't make fun of other people if you don't make fun of yourself. You have to be
got
fair,
it.
you
You
know.
got it.
So I'm gonna give
Was
Logan.
can I just say, was the fan on?
No,
Okay, so your dad wasn't spinning with the fan.
no. But you know what's funny? Like you were asking me before the show, do I like true crime and stuff? And I've been following that stuff. It's because my dad in 1979, when my grandmother was dying with cancer, nobody told her that she was dying from cancer in Tacoma, Washington. She was getting medical care in Seattle because they have a great cancer program at Swedish medical group. Second and third day visiting the United States for the first time, 79, my dad said, today we're going to Ted Bundy-san no uchi ni iku, which is like roughly, son, we're going to Ted Bundy's house.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So because his parents lived in Tacoma, Washington, at the time he was in Florida in prison, right? But my
Teddy
dad,
B?
huh?
Teddy B?
Yes. In fact, I even went to Pensacola, Florida, at the diner where he got captured for the last time.
Where he was with a couple of broads, right?
I know he went to he was driving out a diner, and there's something wrong with his vehicle. Maybe the tailgate wasn't
So
on.
he said.
But the
So he
cops
said.
cops got him that day. But yeah. So my dad took me to Ted Bundy's mother's house, and then
How was she? Was she good?
I didn't see her until early 2000 driving around. I think that was her. But it's a strange circle of life where, as a kid, my dad was into that stuff. He'll show me books with like autopsy pictures. And to think many years later, I go to a police station to see my dad's autopsy. And we never knew if it was a murder or suicide, you know. So that interest been with me for a long, long time. And then another reason why I was going back to why I love Vanity Fair so much. Years ago in Washington State, I could have been Tacoma and Seattle. We'll finish with this, sorry. We were in some fancy restaurant, and I had to take a shit really bad. So I'm in a fancy restaurant,
It's a good place to poop.
nice restaurant, nice toilet. I'm sitting there, I can't shit. Like, I need to go back to eat, finish my dinner. um, two adults were talking in the bathroom, and they were talking about, I forgot the guy's name, but they were talking about the chef at this restaurant uh, murdered someone years ago, or recently, and got out of jail recently, I guess. And then he murdered Dominic Dunn, the famous Hollywood script writer, intellectual. He ran this kind of like a beautiful dinner parties where Hollywood star, intellectual, business people kind of meet and have a wonderful conversation. He was like in the Hollywood royalty, I think, in my opinion. He wrote many successful scripts. Anyway, his daughter was in the movie Poltergeist. And a little young girl who said they're here. She dies in an accident shortly after that. But the lady who plays her older sister is Dominic Dunn's daughter. She was murdered within a year of that movie, strangulation. And that guy is a chef. And he was cooking at that restaurant. So that's why those guys were talking about that. Did you know that guy actually murdered Dominic Dunn's daughter? So I was like, I'm just a kid, right? Like, what the fuck, you know? I don't remember how old, maybe between 12, 13, 14. So, you know, like I was illegal alien. I sneak into this country. I'll fucking sneak into the kitchen. So I pretend like I didn't speak the language and kind of skin. I was already doing that when I would just sneak into the fucking kitchen like I didn't speak the language and don't know, but like walk around. And I think I was staring at the guy who murdered that girl. And years later, I met Toby Hooper, who made Poltergeist, who also made, and if you live in Austin, you know this. Toby Hooper also made Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So the cemetery Baghdad, which is 30 miles away, they shot a scene for Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But yeah, I mean, I met him. They filmed the movie in Texas. Obviously, Texas Chainsaw, you have to film here. But yeah, I met him, talked to him a little bit about that. And here as I am reading Dominic Dunn. His daughter got murdered, and Dominic Dunn's son, Griffith Dunn, who did Young Werewolf in London, made a movie called After Hours with Scorsese. You know, like, so I'm 54, so if you make a time and effort to go places, you can meet those people. It's not magic, dude.
Right.
And if you want to start something, you just Google it. Like, if you don't know shit, you want to start business, how does one start business? And it's there. There's really no excuse if you live in this country for like 99% of the people. Don't be a faggot. That's what I'm saying. Don't be a loser. Do something. If you want something, you know how easy gay guys to get dicks? They go and get that dicks.
They get the dick, dude, but they don't have to fucking buy them a drink. They don't have to take them out for dinner. Hold it.
That's an excuse, dude. You could get a fatty.
You could, yeah.
If you want something,
hey, check
make some effort.
Yeah, you can get a fatty.
I've been loser for a long time, but I still look. If you have 5 minutes that you want to pursue your life, then spend 5 minutes. You only have 2 minutes. Do that. You don't have any other time. You want to start a business? Listen to podcasts about business. Listen to that while you're going to work. You could do something every day. Yeah. What the fuck?
I love it. I love the fourth quarter.
You know how many people and everyone want to come here and do that? You have no excuse. Okay, if you're paralyzed from neck down, then maybe you can, but...
Well, stop being a pussy, too. Right?
Yeah.
You know? Throw some dirt on it.
You could blink and talk or listen to pod. You could do shit.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking figured it out.
There you go.
Figure it the fuck out.
Listen to this pod every week. Learn shit. Do stuff. Support this club. You know, like everybody's putting their efforts. So as long as you put an effort, then you should be proud of yourself.
Hell yeah, dude. I think it's a good place to put a fucking bow on this one.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming by, Yoshi.
Thank you.
Yoshi was just on your mom's house with Tom Segura. Be sure to check that out. Is there anything else you'd like to plug?
At Yoshi Obayashi at Instagram, and I guess I started doing TikTok. I'm old. I hate doing that shit, but I have to do them.
You got good hips, man. I can tell you got the hips for it. And
then next year I will go back to Edinburgh Fringe Fest again. I'm trying to do 2 more new ones. Fringe Fest, which is a performance art event. I want to go to one in Iceland. I want to do one in Adelaide, Australia, and I would like to go sometime this year to Belarus, Ukraine. So if you're in any of those countries and if you could help me, let me know.
Oh, we got a big Ukraine listenership.
Yoshi@gmail.com. Thank you.
Hell yeah. And if you're in Austin, you see Yoshi on any lineup, make sure to see him. He's a funny
Come to
guy.
Creek.
Come to the Creek in the Cave. World famous Creek in the Cave right here in Austin, Texas. I'll be at the Sunset Strip 7 p.m. on Sunday and 9 p.m. every Friday.
Amen.
Brandon, what you got?
Rocky's Piano Bar every Wednesday in Round Rock, and then here at the Creek in the Cave every Thursday night, 10 p.m. Creek Cave Live. Get your tickets on creekandcave.com.
Yeah, come here a lot, please, because I do come here a lot too. So support the club. People are wonderful here. Austin's a comedy destination. This is the comedy mecca now. There's no choice. Not, New York, LA is wonderful, but if you really want comedy and great comedy podcasts, this is the city of future and now.
In other words, grab your life right by the pussy, right?
All right. Thank you.